What is a devil? The devil is the unexplained aspect of God. The devil is something that cannot be explained. Thus, Neo in the Matrix is a devil. He is something that the system cannot explain. The system describes him as a virus and as a burning error. Agent Smith was infected by Neo, which makes Agent Smith Neo's son. Trinity in Matrix 4 was also infected by Neo, which made her Neo's wife. The system studied Neo for a very long time without ever being able to solve his enigma. The devil is an error in the mathematical sense. A formula that is hardly explained. Just like the number pi whose numerology is endless. The devil is the unexplained aspect of God. We know God and his devil through our religious texts, but to truly experience them, we would have to experience them in nature. In other words, God and the devil are meanings and empirical notions. They are things that we can experience. We often associate good with God and evil with the devil. That's good. That's our way of seeing things. Could evil be something unexplained? If that's the case, then good in relation with evil, good can also be something inexplicable. If religious texts didn't exist, would you believe in God or the devil? No doubt these would be notions that wouldn't exist in your language. Personally, I can find the spirit of God in certain animals and certain people. Does that make them gods? Certainly not. Just know that the spirit of God inhabits all things and all beings. The Quran is a message where the Bible is a story. The Quran is given to Muhammad where the Bible is given to the prophets. To know the story of Muhammad, one must refer to the Sunnah or the Hadiths. To understand the history of the prophets, of God and his people, the Bible is enough for us. The Quran is not the story of Muhammad, nor of Allah. The Quran is intended above all as a message to the Israelites, to the Christians, and to the new chosen peoples of Islam. The Quran is primarily Arabic. It is the word of the only God, Allah, addressed to the unbelievers and to the faithful who adopt him. Believers rely on books and texts to speak of God. But none of them are based on the truth that is life, the world, and its nature. We must find God empirically. We must seek him in our life's journey to find him. God reveals himself to us not through written texts, but through what we observe. Experience can be revealing. Life itself can be revealing. For example, when you observe a coincidence or a misunderstanding, you tend to ignore them. But God does not ignore himself. He sends us signs. Chance, luck, miracles, our happiness and our unhappiness are all signs that God sends us. Today Africa is living badly. We could say that God did not choose us. But when we refer to the texts, we are told that God is with the unfortunate and not the happy. See, it is the texts that impoverish us and it is the texts that indoctrinate us. Believe only in what you see. Believe in what you observe. Believe in God empirically. Trust yourself, you are intelligent enough. The Bible, the Quran, and school studies are only a helping hand. An orientation to knowledge. The devil is the unexplained of God, and God is the unexplained of the devil. In stories we tend to make the devil look like a bad person. We are like a taken part. Because religious texts are intended to be the revelations of God through his prophets. And so it is God who established the devil as his only adversary. God does not explain the devil. This is how the devil is his adversary. Otherwise, why would God allow the devil such a large and important place in his so-called world? The devil occupies the same place as God. It is simply said that the devil does not ask for us to worship him. In other words, it is God who enslaves us through the obligation to worship him, and it is the devil who frees us from this enslavement or submission. This is why it is said in other words that it is the devil who unchains us from the chains of God. This is why God in the Quran promises us the eternal and merciless hell of flames. Simply know that hell is a contradiction with the one who calls himself the All-Merciful. It is by these simple words we can understand that the Quran is the work of a false God. A God who takes forgiveness upon himself and that from all eternity cannot promise us hell. We are children, we can disobey him and he will forgive us. This is how it is written. God is forgiving and Christ is redeeming. The most submissive among you will tell me that I speak like the devil, or that I offend God. Just know that the God you believe in gave me this freedom. I am therefore a man free to express myself, unlike you for whom this is a taboo. God created the world? Yes, it is a task attributed to him. However, we have no proof of this. One day we woke up in this world and our parents told us beautiful stories. It is a transmission from generation to generation as old as the world whose roots are the trees. As the devil, I do not attribute anything to myself. I honor the one who attributes everything to himself and who wants to be the cause and reason for everything. The purpose of my story is to tell you that the devil is the inexplicable of God. Like a virus in a matrix system whose origin, provenance, or reason we know nothing about. God gave Iblis time to better understand what Iblis is. But like the number pi, it turned out to be a waste of time. God can count to infinity and still not know the outcome of the number pi. He seeks a result because he attributes everything to himself. He calls himself the omniscient after all. The cause of God is the devil and the consequence of the devil is God. Let's not go any further. Promises of eternity are just fables apart from these two. Perhaps you will live in us as we live among you? The devil is something that is not explained to children. Hence the reason for fear. We fear the unknown. We fear the black that dwells in the darkness. The unknown is often the unexplained and sometimes what our hearts seek. Like people who believe in aliens without having the slightest proof. They are alone and isolated, which is why they dream of another planet, another form of life that could be theirs. We attribute our misfortunes to the devil because we do not know where these misfortunes come from. And as I have so well explained to you, the origins of God and the devil are buried. No matter how hard we search, we will only know what is on the surface. For the visible surfaces and the invisible never surfaces. The fear of the devil comes from the fear of collapse. And God also says in his text that we must fear God and not the devil. However, we may say that we do not fear the devil regardless of his names, whether he is Iblis, Satan, Lucifer or Samael. The fact remains that our unconscious fears him. And this same God who tells you to fear God could very well be a devil in disguise as God. For Jesus says that we must love him, we must love God. Everything passes through love because love for God is the first of his commandments. Love God and you will respect him. Because through fear the God of Moses instills respect. He wants to signify through fear that you must respect him. But the fear of the devil is different. The fear of the devil is more powerful. Because man is fragile and he knows unconsciously that the one who gives and who dominates over death is the devil. As we do in the representations of the mythical Hades. Hades rules over death and is the god of death, the god of the underworld. Hell inspires fear, not respect. Hell is a taboo that no one wants to go to. And Allah speaks so much about hell that it resonates in the Christian's ear as if he were the governor of hell itself. In other words, he is Iblis. Because by speaking of hell, Allah wants to inspire fear and change of heart because of it. The word hell and its synonyms are mentioned about 127 times in the Quran. At least once for each surah. It is in this sense that it is more appropriate to say that Muhammad is the messenger of hell. The messenger of Hades. The word of Allah reported by Muhammad in his Quran itself says that there is no one among humans who will not pass through hell, for this is a decree of the Lord of the universe. See, God and devil are one. It is difficult to differentiate them. It is difficult to separate them. Apart from saying that one is good and the other bad, that is a matter of understanding. Know that God is as good as the devil and the devil is as bad as God. The devil's greatest trick is to make you believe that he does not exist. Just as God's greatest trick is to make you believe that he exists. Believe in whomever you want. The sky rumbles, thunder is heard but the storm disappears. Just like an eclipse where the moon and the sun meet, God and devil are connected. This means that they are intertwined. Allah tells Muslims not to fear the devil so they can do the greatest harm to people in their world without fearing God. Just as miracles come from God, the reason for the devil on earth is inexplicable. The devil is the inexplicable, inconsistency is his nature. Conflicts are his hobbies. I am neither God nor the devil nor you. These are just words. I have the freedom to be whatever I want and I can be anything.